In the dead of night, a small drone hums over a military depot deep inside Russian territory. It isn't launched from a jet, nor guided by a pilot in a cockpit. Instead, it's operated remotely, possibly by a soldier in Ukraine using off-the-shelf technology. It drops a grenade with pinpoint accuracy. The explosion damages millions in fuel infrastructure, executed with a device that costs less than a smartphone. This isn't fiction. This is the new face of war. Today, the battlefield is being reshaped, not just by weapons, but by code, data, and algorithms. From autonomous drones to cyberattacks and AI-driven decision-making, the nature of warfare is undergoing a radical transformation. Let's explore how. The image of war as soldiers on the ground and tanks in formation is becoming outdated. Modern battlefields are increasingly shaped by autonomous systems, machines that can sense, decide, and act with minimal human input. Drones and robotic vehicles now play central roles in reconnaissance, strike missions, and logistics. In Ukraine, autonomous and semi-autonomous drones have allowed smaller forces to level the playing field. These machines can navigate urban combat zones, strike with precision, and return without risking a single human life. They offer undeniable tactical advantages. But this shift brings deep ethical questions. If a robot makes a mistake, kills the wrong person, destroys the wrong target, who is accountable? As machines take on life and death decisions, we must ask, how much control are we willing to give them? Artificial intelligence has become a silent commander in today's conflicts. AI algorithms are now capable of processing satellite images, surveillance data, and battlefield communications faster than any human could. These systems can detect enemy movement, identify threats, and even suggest the most efficient tactical responses, all in real time. In logistics, AI helps predict supply needs, allocate resources, and prevent bottlenecks. In intelligence, it filters vast volumes of data to spot suspicious patterns, whether it's troop buildups or cyber threats. Some militaries are even developing AI systems to assist with battlefield decision-making, where speed and accuracy are critical. But there's a dilemma. If the system is wrong, who bears responsibility? And what if the AI inherits bias, identifying threats based on flawed data, or misinterpreting behavior due to lack of cultural context? AI is powerful, but it lacks empathy, judgment, and accountability. That makes it both a powerful asset and a dangerous one. In modern warfare, cyberattacks can do more damage than bombs. They can shut down power grids, paralyze hospitals, disable military satellites, and steal classified information, all without firing a single bullet. Cyber warfare has already become a standard tool in statecraft. Russian cyberattacks hit Ukraine's infrastructure before any tanks crossed the border. But Ukraine responded with international support and digital resilience, showing that cyberspace is now a legitimate front line. And the threat isn't just national. Non-state actors, hacktivists, private militias, and criminal organizations can exploit vulnerabilities just as easily. What's more, information itself is now a weapon. Fake videos, deepfakes, and disinformation campaigns are being used to manipulate public opinion and destabilize societies. The line between war and peace has blurred, and it's getting harder to tell where the next attack will come from. We are rapidly approaching a world where wars won't just be fought by humans or machines, but by genetically engineered organisms, autonomous swarms, and synthetic viruses. The convergence of artificial intelligence, robotics, and biotechnology is giving rise to unprecedented capabilities. Gene editing tools like CRISPR could one day create bioagents targeted to specific DNA sequences. Advances in neuroscience could enable soldiers to control machines with their minds. Nanodrones might be deployed to infiltrate and sabotage behind enemy lines. And the most concerning development? Cyber-biological warfare, where malicious code could be used to trigger biological attacks or hijack bioengineered systems. These technologies promise precision and power, but they also pose immense ethical and legal challenges. What happens when the tools of war become impossible to control? Who regulates a virus that can be printed from a gene sequence? How do we stop rogue nations or rogue actors from exploiting these tools? The future battlefield may not look like a battlefield at all. It might look like a lab, or a server farm, or even a hospital ward. At the core of all this technology is a very human question. What kind of wars are we willing to fight? Technology may offer precision, speed, and strategic superiority, but it also risks dehumanizing conflict. When machines make the decisions, when data determines who lives or dies, war becomes less personal and potentially more dangerous. The further we remove humans from the battlefield, the easier it becomes to wage war without considering its human cost. And yet it's people, not machines, who suffer the consequences. This is a pivotal moment. The global community must ask itself, how do we maintain control in a world where weapons can think, diseases can be engineered, and war can happen in silence? International agreements must evolve. Ethics must catch up. And above all, we must not forget that even in the age of machines, war is a profoundly human tragedy. Technology is changing warfare faster than diplomacy, ethics, or law can respond. It's giving us new tools, but also new responsibilities. Whether we face drones, data, or engineered diseases, the challenge ahead is not just to prepare for the next war, but to ask whether we can prevent it. Because in the wars of tomorrow, victory won't belong to the strongest, it will belong to the most ethical, the most prepared, and the most humane.